going on? You're tuned in to another episode of Kitchen Talk with Chef Big Bank, Season 1, Episode 45. So if you missed any episodes, be sure to go back and check them out. Today, we're going to be talking about food with Nicole. And please hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're watching me on Facebook, hit the like button, join my group, Chef Big Bank Foodie Gang fan page. Today I have the beautiful Nicole. Nicole, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good today.
Yeah, so we're going to talk all about food, and as always, to support this platform and keep the stove on, you can always cash out money signs Chef Big Bank. So, Nicole, tell us about yourself and what food means to you.
Is by the Italian side of my family, so food is really reminiscent of that gathering and spending that special time with family members, and also, of course, eating some good dishes.
Yeah, that sounds good. You said your family was Italian?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
mother's from Italy.
wow, that's cool. Have you ever been to Italy yourself?
Not yet. I got a passport though. Hoping to go one.
Yeah, that's exciting, and that's sounds really good. Um, what age did you start cooking?
I started peeling carrots between I was 3 or 4. Learned how to use chopsticks at the age of 5, and Daddy taught me the difference of onion powder and garlic powder around the same time. So I would know about the age of 5 is when I started.
Wow, that's amazing. I think I started at the age 8, but I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat who is here. We got Sammy Poop said, "Hey, hey, hey." Dr. Frizzle Frost, salute. How you doing? So you started cooking at the age of 5. What
Yep.
is your favorite food to cook?
My family is bourgeois with homemade sauce on Sundays.
Okay, that sounds good.
The bourgeois is essentially a very thin sliced top round, and then we just do fresh Parmesan and celery leaves, salt, pepper, garlic, roll it up, and throw it in the sauce.
I don't think I tried that before, but I feel like I've seen that dish or I've heard of it before.
There's a lot of different ways to make it.
Yeah. So can you tell us about living on a boat and
Sure.
how you started living on a boat? Like how did that decision you just woke up one day and said I want to live on a boat?
All right. So I've always been a water baby. My mom's made me. I've got a lobster blanket. I've got a hand sewn cross stitch that she did, all about ocean life. I've always been a water baby. And my ex-husband and I moved to a different city, but we were staying with his parents, and they only had a 1 bedroom. And he said, "Hey, what do you think about living on a boat?" I said, "Let's do it." I lived on college campus. It's smaller than a boat. And then we moved the boat to a marina, and it was like a 20-yard walk for me to get to work. And unfortunately, me and my ex-husband, we did break up. I'm remarried now. And the reason why I'm remarried is because my husband, I stole his slip rent or slip space. He starts, fussing me out. He's never met me before. And I'm like, I'm just putting my boat somewhere. And then we became good friends and eventually started dating. And now here we are. And we live on his boat now.
So you met him around boats. So you guys kind of always had that in common?
Yep. He's been a mariner. He captained the boat the first time when he was 11 years old. So
wow. So he's in it for life.
He's in it for life.
That is amazing. So do you feel like there's a great community within, what do you call it? A marina?
A marina, boaters, life, mariners, any of those work. Right there is one of my liveaboard neighbors. Right there is another one of my liveaboard neighbors, and to the other side is another liveaboard. And it's like we look out for everyone's boats. The neighbor directly across from me, their boat actually started to go down port side, and so I got their permission to go aboard so I could adjust their ropes, and they had no issue with it whatsoever. And we all
Wow.
did like a Thanksgiving together, and so it was potluck, and we just went up to the common space in the marina office and did Thanksgiving together. So it's a tight knit community, and we're all protective.
And I know that you cooked most of the food for Thanksgiving dinner too.
Well, yes. Yes.
Like that's very nice because like sometimes when you live in an apartment, it's like you don't really get to know your neighbors, but it seems like you guys all, look out for each other. Are there a lot of like storms that come through?
Depending on where you are, yeah. Um, but where we are, if you can see, like behind me, all those boats back there and those buildings, they protect a lot of the marina. So it's actually not the storms that bother us so much, it's the people that wake us. So they're about 60-foot to 100-foot boats that don't abide by the law technically, and they go way too fast, and they wake us pretty badly.
Oh, like wake you up at night?
No, wake the boat, the water goes up and down.
Oh, the
That,
water starts like
yeah,
moving.
yeah. like
Wow.
like
Yeah,
when you
that's crazy.
like when you're jet skiing, or even like on a tube, you don't want all of that going on at the time, but it does happen. But these large ships don't bother us, it's the smaller vessels.
Wow. I'm so glad that we got to have this discussion today because I don't know anyone that, like lives on a boat. And like I've been on a dinner cruise before, but I've never like, been on the dock and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Well,
Okay, so go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a funny story. We're on a floating dock, so our dock goes up and down. So we don't have to worry about when it floods that we can't get home. But a few months ago, sometimes I'm in a wheelchair. A few months ago, my husband tripped and accidentally threw me and my wheelchair into the drink.
Oh my goodness.
So there are hazards. I
Well,
was just
I'm
laughing
glad
at the
that you're
fun.
laughing about it.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. I just told him pull me up by the back of my pants, and then he went and grabbed his fishing rod and got my wheelchair.
Look, I want a man like that that's gonna knock me over and help me up.
Yeah, exactly. So there's pros and cons, but I thought it was funny as could be.
Yeah. So I want to show the foodie gang your food, and then after that we'll talk some more, and then we'll kind of get into the MS, and you get share your story with us. But let me play this
Absolutely.
slideshow so that they know the food that I'm talking about.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
All right. The food looks so amazing. I cannot believe you made all of that while living on a boat. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You were muted. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I,
Okay, I think I fixed the issue. What were you saying, Nicole?
oh, I was just saying thank
Oh, okay, there we go. I was having a little bit. See, on when you're on live, a lot of things happen and things get, don't go right.
you.
But I
Absolutely.
still had the video up, so I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
thank you for joining, and I appreciate it so much. I also appreciate you being a part of my food group on Facebook and sharing your food with me and sharing your story. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So can you tell us what MS is and tell us a little bit more about that for the people that don't know?
Sure. Now, MS, it's multiple sclerosis. It affects everyone differently. For me, I count myself lucky. 40% of the women that go through it start to lose their eyesight, and I'm not one of them. So I can deal with any other side effects. So I'm happy for that. You've got extreme pain. Sometimes you can't walk. You're so weak. Sometimes you can't shower. You can't stand up long enough to even shower. And the pain and the cramps and the spasms come through, usually in the lower half of your body. But what starts to happen is you have lesions on your brain and on your spine. So things like I know it happens to me a lot. I get my words backwards.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of times, like I've got two marker boards on the boat right now. I have to write everything down because I have no short term memory. Everything is long term. I can remember things from when in kindergarten, but I can't remember what I spoke to with my mother 2 days ago. So there's that, and then there's the exhaustion, and along with that, there's the insomnia. But it's an all over encompassing disability that affects a lot of life. But you can find ways around it. If you're positive, you can do it. Like I can't run anymore. I used to do triathlons and mud runs. I can't do that anymore, but I can still walk some days, most days. And you just have to look at the positives that you still have.
Wow, that's amazing that you're able to, still stay positive and still operate. And I'm glad that you have your husband there to assist you, That's a big thing.
He's back
Hi,
there.
hubby.
It really is.
Wow.
I don't think I'd be able to get through it without him.
Wow, that means a lot. How old were you when you were diagnosed with MS?
37.
37? Okay.
I'm 42 now.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad that you're, still moving around and able to stay positive because I feel like positivity and, trying to do what you can do, such as cooking, moving around, like all those things really they help they help like to still be able to operate and still be able to do stuff. It really does. It helps a lot.
It definitely does. And that's nobody put this disease on me. I didn't put this disease on me. So I have no one to blame. It just is what it is. And it's just something that you deal with and you overcome.
Yeah. Sammy Pooh said that's it. I gotta meet the girl Nicole.
Come on over. I'll cook for you.
And he said, me either, never been on a boat, so this is cool. Did she have to learn to drive the boat before buying the boat?
Nope. Not in North Carolina or Virginia. You can buy it without it because this is my third boat.
Wow. Sammy Pooh said, lie. She can't be 42. She looks younger, 34, 35. Yes, you look amazing. Nicole, you're great.
Fun.
You look very amazing and keep on pushing and you know. So can you tell us how does MS affect your cooking or your ability to
It,
cook food?
my husband is fantastic with seafood. So on the days that I can't stand up, we eat a lot of seafood. On the days where it's iffy, it actually helps me because it helps get me up motivated, not quite like exercising, but it helps get my heart rate up and running around the galley and everything. So really, in a way, it's a positive aspect because I'm not just going to lie in bed all day. I can get up and move and function, and the harder I push, the better I get.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you cook a lot. Did you guys join my group on Facebook, Chef Big Bang Foodie Gang? Nicole's always sharing her amazing food with us. And I'm so glad to be able to create a group where we can all gather, despite our disabilities or what we have going on. Food is life. So thank you for, always sharing your posts with us. It's very motivating.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I have a ton of joy with cooking and serving food to the people I love, and even strangers. I've had strangers come over that before.
Yeah, I feel like at every event, food is always the vessel that everyone gathers around. And like even on my days where I'm not feeling good, or like in 2020, I had two brain surgeries,
Oh
and
my,
so yeah, in 2020 I had two brain surgeries, and I was diagnosed with a brain tumor.
are you okay?
But I went to yeah, I'm okay. I went to culinary school when I was 19. So after I had the brain surgeries, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to still cook, or I wasn't sure like what I was going to be able to remember. But what I will say is like cooking has definitely helped me through that process. Like what you were saying, it kind of gives you something to look forward to, and it's like, it's just a blessing that we can remember all this stuff. Like,
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you got through it.
yeah, I think staying positive and doing something that you love helps, get through the bad days and like gives you something to look forward to. And who doesn't want to eat good food?
Exactly. Mhm. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But
when I make good food, I'm so happy. And then a couple of months ago, I started posting my food on Facebook, and then I made the group, and that has helped me like eat better, and it's given me like it's like a my own little community of people that like to eat as well. And so when I heard your story, that's why it meant so much to me, because you're also someone that has a disability, and you're powering through that, and you're still continuing to cook.
you gotta love it.
How is cooking on a boat different from cooking in a kitchen?
Um, Obviously, a lot of limited space. Um, and I can only use one appliance at a time. Otherwise, I blow a fuse, and then I have to take the stairs down and flip the fuse switch. So learning how to do that was interesting. Um, Let me. I'll show you. I use that's my indoor grill. I use a lot. That has so many multi functions for it. And then let me grab. We all know the size of these bottles. And this is my newer oven that I just got. If you can kind of see how small it actually is.
Yeah.
And then um, that's my convection burner. So I only have two burners.
Wow. So you can only use like the stove or the oven. You can't use both at the same
Both
time.
at the same time. And I do have a microwave as well. But this is my prep area. This is my
Wow.
hand. That's all I have. That that's
I
it.
mean, this food is amazing that you're making on this boat. I can't even believe it.
That's when you're passionate about something, you find a way to get around other things. Like I well, I got my big knife. I'll do a lot of prep work actually sitting upstairs in the salon, just chopping up the veggies and everything and put them in different bowls
Yeah.
before I start cooking them. And that way I get to spend some time with the hubby and the kitchen doesn't get destroyed, which I'm very good at destroying a kitchen.
Wow, I'm like, I feel like I need to cook better. I need to like get my garnishes together. When I see your food, I'm like, man, she's. I feel like when people see your food, it makes them want to cook better.
And when I see other people's food, it makes me want to cook better as well. So it's definitely reciprocal.
Yeah, this is a good question. He said I was about to ask that. Like when a wave hits and you're cooking, I don't want to. I know why I imagine stuff flying all over the place, and I envision myself sliding around. So
Yeah.
when there are waves and you are cooking, what happens?
If it's a liquid on the stove, I just throw it on the floor. It's carpeted. I usually have extra dish towels and whatnot to prevent for any burn marks, but I also have probably 20 oven mitts. Um, but if it gets that bad, I'll just lift the liquid pot off. Other than that, things fall on the floor. You just pick it back up and keep going.
Wow, I've never cooked on a boat before, so that would be a new experience for me.
Uh, but see, I don't have to mow grass, so it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. But
But
wow, this is amazing.
yeah, things do sometimes go flying everywhere, and you just pick it up and keep going.
Wow. Thank you so much, Randy, for coming in. We are just sitting up here talking with Nicole about how she makes this amazing food and lives on a boat. It's very inspiring for home cooks. What advice would you give to people, to home cooks that wanted to start cooking at home?
Don't get discouraged. I make bad meals sometimes. I've made mistakes. I've learned from my mistakes. So just keep moving forward. It's okay if something didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted it, because next time, now you've been able to learn something, a new technique, maybe a new ingredient. It's something new and different. Just keep going with it. Not every meal is going to be perfect by any means.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Nicole. And I always tell the foodie gang, like, I have burned a lot of dishes. I have messed up a lot of dishes. That is going to happen when you are learning. So even if you make a bad meal, that's okay because like you can still learn from that experience of what to do different next time.
I got a funny story if you want to hear it.
Yes, let's talk about it.
So on the boat, we need a new water filtration system. So we only drink bottled water. And the gallon of bottled water looks just like the gallon of white distilled vinegar. So a couple months ago, I made an entire Salisbury, like homemade Salisbury steak, homemade gravy, mashed potatoes, everything with it. But I grabbed the bottle of vinegar and not the water. My husband ate it. I didn't. It
Your husband is a trooper.
happened to put up with me. Yeah.
He is. And so that's going to lead to my next question. I know you speak highly of your husband, and he loves steak. If you guys don't know, Nicole's always cooking steak for her husband. you know, um, so can you tell us about how the dynamic is between you and your husband? Like, I know you told us how you guys met, but how long did it take from meeting to marriage?
Um, we met. I moved in with him about 2 months after we met, and we were together 3 years, and we just got married November 22nd of 2023.
Oh, that's very sweet. And I hope that you guys have many more blessed years together and you guys continue to help each other, grow and build and really watch over each other because it's crazy out here, Nicole.
I'm always teasing him because he's 14 years older than me. I always like to mess with him. I call him like year sometimes. Sometimes he's 587.
That's very sweet. Sammy Pooh said, "This is amazing." Another question: do y'all have people intruding on boats? Is that an issue at all? Also, is there some diversity living on boats?
Okay, perfectly logical question. At my very first marina, I did have 3 different times somebody came on the boat. Uh, but the thing is I was working outside at the bar, so I could see my boat, so I knew what they were doing. And then there was one time, it was my day off, and the couple came on the boat, and I was inside, and I just walked outside and shoot them off. There was a raccoon, however. That was a funny thing.
There be raccoons on boats?
Yep. There was a raccoon because he liked to. It's in like a restaurant area, so he's a trash digger, and he wound up on the boat one day. And
What?
yep, in this area now, I made sure to put cameras on the boats, but in the larger marina, uh, there's a lot more people looking out for one another. So a lot of people won't come on there unless they like know they're welcome to the marina. There absolutely is diversity in marinas of all different ages and races, ethnicity, whatever the term you want to call it. There is diversity. I mean, I had a couple, they lived in the studio apartment kitty corner from us. And they were walking up and down the marina because they were considering buying a boat because it was cheaper than their studio apartment. And they were a young black couple. And we brought them on board. We showed them all around. I even put her in my mermaid costume. I got a picture of it.
You have a mermaid costume?
I, I had a mermaid costume, yes. And I would wear it like working the tiki bar. I did the polar plunge in it.
Oh, okay, that's so cute.
But yes, I put her as a mermaid and had him take some pictures of her while my husband and him were talking about boats and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's the boating community is very open minded. There's not a lot of prejudice around here.
Yeah, do you see a lot of people living on the boats because rent is getting high?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I even know a couple, they'd been here 10 years and even our slip rent had gone up and they moved to Florida because in Florida, their slip rent was cheaper.
And the slip rent is how much you pay for the spot at the boat dock?
Hmm.
Wow.
Because we're liverboards, the cable is free. It's included. That all of the electricity is included. The water is included, and we have free Wi-Fi. So it's all included, and it sells a whole lot cheaper than a studio apartment.
I mean, that's crazy that that's what it's gonna come to. Hey, no captivity with Freezy, really great YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to it. I did get $10 from Glow Hardy. Thank you so much for supporting the platform. I really appreciate it. And you are going to be the sponsor of the show. But Nicole, that's crazy that people are living on boats now because rent is getting too high.
Yeah, but I mean, you can downsize. You don't need to constantly, update your wardrobe, type of thing. You don't need all the extra pots and pans, kitchen utensils. You don't need a popcorn popper. It's a nice way to simplify your life, but there's still enough room where, like, I got 2 bedrooms and then the upstairs salon and then the bridge where I was earlier. So you can still have some time away if you just need a few moments. Just sometimes just to de-stress from the day. But yeah, there's a lot of people starting to live on boats because the rent is getting so high.
Wow. Do you ever see yourself moving back to an apartment or moving back to a house?
Nope. I I do have a house. I'm renting it out, but I don't see myself ever living on land again.
Wow. It's so crazy because it's like I've always lived on land, so I never thought of living in any other type of environment before.
I get you, but like I said earlier, if I lived in a, my university's dorm room with a roommate in a much smaller space than this, I can handle a boat.
And then if anyone in the chat has any more questions, feel free to ask them. Oh, Nicole, one thing I wanted to go over is what state are you in? Because I know, but they don't know.
Oh, okay. Right now I'm in Virginia. Right, if you saw the first part of the video, what was behind me, that's the Norfolk Naval Base. So I'm literally over the downtown tunnel, like the boat's over the tunnel between Portsmouth and Norfolk in Virginia.
Wow, and weren't you talking about going down to Florida, or you were thinking about
We are.
moving? Uh, I mean, so you would like, I guess you would just take the boat on the water all the way to Florida. It just seems
Well,
crazy to me because
most of it will be on the ICW, so the Intercoastal Waterway. So it wouldn't be all ocean. A lot of it will be like more brackish water inside, land on both sides type of thing. There's because of the draft of the boat, there's a few places where we'll have to go near the ocean to get down there. But as soon as I get everything taken care of, what's going on with my house, yeah, we're moving down there.
wow. And so, does your husband drive the boat, or do you drive the boat?
He mainly drives it. He always docks it. I know how to, but he's so much more experienced than I am, and I make a really good deckhand because it doesn't seem like it, but when I become a deckhand, my mouth actually stays closed. So I just listen.
Okay, and I watched a little bit of Below Deck. Isn't the deckhand the person, or the deckhand the person that like ties the boat up and like gets it into the port?
The one
Am
that
I
gets
seeing?
the slip itself is going to be your captain, but it doesn't matter who is behind the wheel. I don't care if it's a 15-year-old, if it's my husband, if it's myself. Whoever's behind that wheel is who you listen to. So the deckhand, so you've got a first mate. I just call myself a deckhand because I do all the ropes. Um, but that's what they do. They just listen to the captain. Captain does what he or she says, and we're the ones that jump off the boat with the rope in hand. We know how to do the correct knots. We go over, get her first fixed to the actual slip, and then we'll go back and readjust the ropes, ensuring that the vessel is safe and not crashing into anything, and making sure that it doesn't need additional bumpers or anything like that.
Wow. Okay, so we got like that. This whole thing is so amazing. So we have a couple of questions from the chat. Sammy Pooh said, "Are you allowed to swim on the marina, or do you have to boat out to swim?"
Technically, in the lease, it says that we cannot swim in the marina. That has yet to ever stop me once. And I've been here 2 years, so I've been swimming this marina quite a bit.
So you just jump right in the water?
Right off the end of this vessel, off the bow of it, I jump right in.
I mean, if they haven't complained or told on you,
Well, I mean, I literally, with my MS, I'm better in water than I am on land. So,
I was gonna ask you about that because I know a lot of people do like water aerobics, or like they say that they can move their muscles better. So for you, it actually helps when you're swimming.
yep, it absolutely helps.
Wow. Is the water there warm?
Well, I mean, I voluntarily swam in 46-degree water for the Special Olympics, so it really doesn't matter that much to me. It can get up to about 73, 75, drops down into low 40s. The cold doesn't bother me.
Wow. You're living a way more riskier life than I am. I'm all scared of everything. But Randy said, "Wow, I work on Norfolk Naval Base."
He'll know exactly where my boat is because if he watches the news, TV 10 flies over my boat every day, and you see it when they're flying out in the morning.
What do you have a name for your boat?
Yeah, the name of the boat is Four of Hearts.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep, it's for my husband, his father, and my husband's two sons. Their their last name is Hart. Uh, I didn't take my husband's last name; I kept mine for a funny reason. But that's where the boat name came from. But my last name isn't Needham. It's actually Gott, Gott. I can't change it on Facebook for some reason. I've been trying to for 5. And so what we do is we name all of whatever little knickknacks we get. We call them Gotthard. So it's both of our last names,
Um,
but Gotthard.
that's so sweet and so sentimental. No captivity with Freezy said, "Do you have to leave the boat when really bad weather causes high tide?"
Not here. We have a floating dock. So the boat stays where, like, if the dock's way down here, the boat's right there. If we go way up, then the boat goes way up. So we don't have to worry about adjusting the ropes or anything. Now, if it's extremely windy or a hurricane coming, we'll take the boat and park her into a lock because in the lock, the water is not affecting the vessel itself.
And then is the lock like covered, or I don't think I ever heard of that before. Is it covered?
A lock is just a area where it takes high water to low water, and in between there's these huge walls that go over and dictate the water level itself. So we just go park in there because the water level won't change, but this way it's safer from the wind.
Wow. And then I remember so I used to watch Below Deck, and what they were saying is like boat repairs were pretty expensive.
Right.
Have you guys ever had to do any boat repairs?
Um, my second vessel, I had to do a dry dock with her with the repair. Since
What
my
does a dry dock mean?
uh, take it out of the water and kind of looks like a shelving unit, and they just put the boats on different areas out of the water depending on when they're working on it. When they're working on it, it's on stands, but it won't stay on stands the whole time because it puts too much stress on the vessel itself, on the hull. So it's just getting the boat out of the water. Me and my ex-husband on my second boat, we replaced the heater cooling unit ourselves. That was a few days. My husband now, though, his engine room, it's actually inside, which is nice. But he knows everything about boats, so he's able to fix it all up. I've been down in the engine room helping him out before. We're working it together, but he's absolutely the engineer of the relationship.
Wow, this is such an amazing story, Nicole. We have another question from Sammy Poo. He said, "Interesting. Have you ever witnessed lightning hit the water like in the movies?"
Yes, absolutely yes. And if I was on land, I was struck by lightning. So I keep very vigilant eyeballs out about lightning after that happened.
You were struck by lightning. Did that happen when you were on the boat, or
I was on
Nicole?
land
You just be going through a lot. Bless your heart.
on my college campus, and it struck me in the side of my left foot, and I passed out and wound up in the hospital.
Oh my gosh! Did you feel
So,
like you got like special powers after that?
right? I wanted to call myself Carmen Electric, but no, no, my bit. I had a headache for a couple days, and ever since then, I'm just really vigilant about lightning storms. So I'll pay attention. But we've got like zincs down here, and a lot of times, if lightning were to hit the water or come close to the vessel, it actually surrounds the vessel. It doesn't go through the vessel. Kind of like how the car is a solid steel cage. It's not the tires that repel the lightning, it's the actual metal that repels it. And it's the same on a vessel.
Wow. I mean, that is. I do like when I hear lightning, I be getting scared. But Sammy Pooh said I would have peed myself. I mean, well, she passed out, so we don't know. And then no captivity with Freezy said, I don't know if I should laugh or cry.
Laugh. You just
And Randy's asked, how much gasoline does it take to fill up the boat, and how long does it last? I don't know. I guess I never thought that boats need gas.
well, this vessel's a diesel. Last time we filled her up was about $1,100, but she's got two huge tanks. So it was the one and only time we ever filled her up in 3 years. And we still got plenty of fuel to go. We can probably still get to Florida with what we have left in our tanks. So it's a big initial jump. The thing is with fuel, when you're on a marina, if it says anything about marina, they jack the prices up. But the fuel that we use is identical to the same diesel fuel that I can get from like the Shell station or Wawa or any gas station. It's the same stuff. They just jack the price up.
So where do you get gas from for the boats from? Like, do you go to the gas station and like fill up the little red tubes, or what do you do?
It's at the end of my dock. We just drive the boat over there. It's literally at the end of my dock.
Wow, I never thought about it. I guess I don't know, but I know I never thought that boats needed gas, but I guess but they made it to where everyone needs gas.
Well, and my first boat was a sailboat, so you would think that it didn't need fuel, but it did. I actually had a rabbit engine in it because you think on a sailboat, what if the wind dies down? What if you're trying to get into a narrow slip? You need a little extra control with an engine, so it doesn't have to be a big one or use much fuel, but you still need it on any vessel that you have.
Oh wow. I must have been thinking about, like you said, sailboats that have the little wind flat or the things that the boat moves by the wind. But that is, it sounds expensive, but when you think about it, you haven't had to get gas in years. So that's honestly probably what we spend on our car. Well, we probably spend more than that
I would
on our car in 3 years.
I would agree with that absolutely. The gas, the generator runs from it. So we've got almost every boat has a generator. So it's to help the boat to prevent from sinking. It helps the bilge pump so it doesn't start to get flooded in like the engine room, in the forward head. It it's a trigger switch. So we need the generator in case we lose electricity so the boat doesn't sink. And so the generator runs off of, well, in this boat, diesel.
Wow, I mean, I cannot imagine living on a boat, but I definitely it looked very beautiful when you showed me the outside area. It looks very beautiful, like what you see on TV sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, we sure. There was a festival. All of our neighbors, we went out together. There was 5 boats all together. We anchored out together, and we were able to take a small little dinghy with the motor, and we'd go to the festivals. We were able to partake in adult beverages and have some fun, and still go back to the boats afterward. And they were all just anchored together.
Oh, that's sweet. Have you made any long-term friends at the marina?
Uh, Julie, Nick, Ghost, Alan, Tiny, Summer, Colby, Karina, Jonathan, Kyle. So I would say that would be a yes.
Yeah, I mean that's more friends than you can make on land.
I know everyone that was at the Thanksgiving day, but yeah, because like I said, because we are such a tight knit community, uh, we all have a passion for the same thing, and we all respect each other's property, so we take care of it. Like there was a houseboat right next to it that actually sank, and there was about 10 of us trying to save it.
That is scary. I mean, but if you grew up that way, you would be more used to it. But it's like, dang, the thought, like I'm sinking right now.
He hand built the houseboat, so it wasn't necessarily under the best thing. He built it for his wedding night, so it didn't get used very often, and that's why again the bilge pump is so important. And his stopped working. He didn't check up on it, but his nice boat is right across from it. He's one of our other neighbors.
Well, at least he has a good bow and then then a home a DIY bow.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a nice one. He's got a very nice one. It's aft cabin. And Sammy Poo, yes, you drive through like a gas station. I'm on a T dock, so it's a long dock, one way with a shorter area that's completely perpendicular, and the pumps are right there. You just drive your boat up there. She stays in the water. You fill her up, and you go on your merry way.
Wow, yeah, that is. I mean, it's like the same thing, like if you were on land, but I just never. I guess I never thought about it before. I never knew anyone that lived on a boat. Like all the time. That is amazing. Do you have any stories to tell us about food?
Food, food stories. I will. It's not a story. It's a very random fact. Never in my life had a Big Mac.
For McDonald's?
Never. I worked there for 3 years.
That's probably a good thing, Nicole. Don't eat those.
Okay. A lot of people think I'm crazy when I say them. It just never seemed, whatnot, whatnot. I would kind of want to like remake it myself. Try
That
that.
would be a good idea to do like a copycat McDonald or Big Mac.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be cool. But you know what? Don't eat McDonald's, Nicole. And you don't need to. You cook so good. It's like you would do yourself a disservice to eat fast food.
My husband gave me the best compliment a few months ago. We were talking about getting burgers. It's my favorite food is cheeseburgers. And he said, honey, the best burgers I ever had come out of our galley. It's never come from a restaurant. I said, okay, I got the meat for
He is correct about that. You make quality burgers, and we'll get into that too. Randy said, "Do they have an area where they can park their car?"
you. Yeah, we've got a full parking lot. Both of my car, his car's there. All the liveaboards are right there. We still have empty spaces and everything for visitors. But yeah, we have a full parking lot. In the three marinas I've been at, they've always had their own parking lot.
Wow,
It's a good
it's
question. It is a good question. But what
yeah, but it's like its own little town. It sounds like its
the
own
little
water.
and I carry a collapsible wagon in my car, but then there's also plastic wagons out at the actual office. So, like grocery shopping, you can take those so you don't have to make multiple trips. Because, if you're further down the dock, I mean, you're running half a mile back and forth. And
Wow.
like taking the trash out, it gets pretty heavy. You can take one of those carts and then go up to the trash bin and not have to struggle and fight with it because there's a ramp from the dock to get to land.
Wow, and I know that you said that sometimes you use a wheelchair. How is that navigating with the wheelchair on the boat?
I don't use the wheelchair on the boat. On those days, my head is literally 3 steps away from the bed. And so I just stay in the bed the entire time. When I need
Yeah.
the wheelchair, my husband helps me get up the stairs. There's only 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
Helps me get up those stairs, and he'll essentially just carry me to my wheelchair, and he pushes me the rest of the way, because there's like a local farmers market every Saturday that we like to go to, so he'll push me there. There's a Mexican restaurant that we like that he can push me to, so on those days when my legs don't work so well, we've got other things that we use.
Well, he sounds like a nice, strong man. I'm so glad that he's a part of your life and your journey to, really be here and help you. But I remember that in the Facebook group, Chef Big Bang Foodie Gang fan page, you were telling me about how you only eat certain type of meats, or you like to eat a lot of different meats for your burgers. Can you, elaborate and tell the foodie gang about that?
Absolutely. So with my burgers, I have a butcher about 20 minutes from me. My all-time favorite is, of course, bison. It's healthier than a chicken breast. But I have also had elk, antelope, black bear, venison burgers, and outside of bison, my favorite is actually a kangaroo burger. So I've done all of those.
Wow, I've never. You said black bear?
Yeah, I actually have black bear in my freezer right now. There's three
I've never eaten, and I live in Alaska. I've never thought about eating black bear.
there's three places in North Carolina where you can legally hunt them and distribute the meat. And I have a neighbor who goes to that place, so he gives me the black bear meat. But it's all legal. Oh, I've had wild boar as well.
Wow, I'm so used to eating like the normal, like chicken, beef, pork. So I'm glad for the group, so I can meet other people like you and like really open my palate and like, and it helps me realize or recognize that there's a lot of other type of meat out there.
And kangaroo is super healthy. Like, because I've got actually high cholesterol of all things. It's very strange. But the kangaroo is actually extremely healthy for you, just like bison is as well. And it's definitely healthier than hamburger.
Wow, chat. Have you guys ever had kangaroo? I never even thought about eating kangaroos. I never thought about that. But I wonder if I can find that in Alaska, or where would I have to go to find that?
Butcher shop. But the butcher I go to, half of the store is if you bring your own animal in, they'll butcher it for you. Uh,
What?
yep. And then the
That,
rest of the
wow.
store, normal into exotic animals.
Do people really be bringing their own animals in there that they killed? Like, have you ever brought an animal in there?
I I can't even kill a spider. I put them outside. I eat meat. I'm not against that. Yeah, I'm not vegan, but I can't.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Nicole, because I'll eat meat, but I don't think I'm butchering animals from
Yeah.
like alive to unalive.
And like when we go fishing, my husband will go over and like flay the fish outside. I keep the door shut with the curtains closed. I said, you gotta give me the fillets. I'm not doing no eyeball type fish stuff.
I agree with you, Nicole. I'm not doing no eyeballs. Nothing can be looking at me. That's just, I don't know. It's weird. Like for me, like my food is looking at me. Like that's not appetizing to me. Bring me the fillets. That's funny. But Sammy Poo said, "Can you work on the marinas jobs?"
We have someone that lives here and works here. We got two people actually that do that. We have another one job wise. He lives here, but he cleans the bottom of the hulls because of the barnacles that will get filled on it. Because you got to take care of your boat in salt water about once a year, brackish water maybe twice a year to get rid of the, so they don't go over and start eating through your paint and everything, and it slows your entire system down, your engines, your props, everything. And so
Wow.
he lives here, but you just rent his services out for the job at the time. But yeah, we've got two people that live here and work here. And that's what my husband's trying to do, is actually in Florida. He wants to start working on a marina once we move.
So,
But
so the people go underneath the boat and be scrubbing the boat.
yeah,
Wow, that I mean, that's just a different life. That's That's amazing.
Well, you want to know
Wait,
something scarier? At the end of
what's
our dock,
scary?
at the end of our dock where the fuel tank is, that's where the bull sharks go to give birth.
Oh, see, once you said sharks, I was out of there.
But
Have you ever seen a shark before?
of course, not here, but in the ocean before. Yeah,
Nicole, you're a brave woman. You living out there with sharks.
maybe I just don't think hard enough. I need to be a little bit more logical and not adventurous.
Are there school age children living out on their boats? Do
There's
you see kids over there in the
there's
marina?
yeah, there's two 8-year-olds. The catamaran I showed you when I was upstairs, an 8-year-old lives there, 8-year-old on the other side, and 13-year-old. And I had a 15-year-old living in my boat when I moved in with my husband. So she was living on there alone. Her parents had a boat right there with her, so she wasn't alone. But this way, she had her own space because her parents' boat was small and only had 2 bedrooms, and there was a family of 4, and that's not really fair to 15, 16. I said, you pay my slip rent, she can have the entire boat to herself.
Wow. How do you feel, for kids growing up on the boat life? Like, what is your, honest opinion of it?
It's nice that we have a park right next to us, but I don't know. Times have changed, but I know I grew up in a small town and I love jumping on my bike, hiking through the woods. As soon as the streetlights come on, my booty better be home. But you had a little bit more freedom than living here and a lot more private space. But at the same point in time, each family finds their own needs as what
Mm.
works for them. I can't judge them or say, oh, that's wrong or anything like that. I just know with me, I like being on my bicycle and I like hiking.
Yeah, and like for me when I was growing up, we always played outside. So, I guess I guess you figure it out as you go along.
Right. Yeah. And I don't have children, so I'm not anyone to be able to give advice along those levels. Just I'm not a parent, so I don't,
Yeah.
you know,
But that was nice of you to make room for the 15-year-old so that she could have her own space and have a little bit more room. I think that that's a good age that you definitely need your own space. Well, I feel like kids do, period. So, but that was very nice of you to, offer her that option.
And she had a shower, a toilet, 2 beds. She had half a galley, so it was more than enough for her. And she was extremely happy with it. And we were good friends with her parents, so we trusted her and we know that she, wasn't going to mess anything up. So, and, we were here, her parents were here, her 8-year-old brother was there. We can't, their boat was just too small for 4 people. So that's just, the parents and me and my husband all came together and collaborated and they were okay with it.
Yeah, what the one thing I would say, it seems like you guys have a really nice community. And I think community or the sense of community is what's missing a lot around the world. So it's nice that you've been able to find that on the water.
Yep, on the water babies. I do not have any animals, Randy. But my next door neighbors have a dog. I know Julie had like 5 cats. Tommy has a dog. Uh,
5 cats? Oh my
well,
goodness.
that she was an oddball, but she took care of them. So I only had to chase out them twice from an abandoned boat. Then there was a snake on the back of her boat because you got to think we're in brackish water. We get snakes, we get alligators, and the bull sharks.
See, I was out of there when you said alligator.
But crocodiles go after humans. Alligators usually don't. But in Virginia, there's not a lot of alligators anymore. But when I was still in North Carolina, I had seen 2. And yeah, I still got in the water.
You know what? I'm glad that It seems like you like living on the edge. But it probably keeps you young, you all
Maybe that's why I
but
don't like.
sharks, yeah, but sharks and alligators, I don't know. Alligators, crocodiles, all of it. Any type of wild animal should not be where I'm at.
Do you want to know the only animal in the world that I'm scared of?
What's that?
Mind you, I live in a fishing boat. And an earthworm. I am dead, completely panicked around an earthworm.
See, but see, is there a lot on the boats, or is that like a land thing?
It's a land thing. You can use it to fish with, but there's no earthworms coming on this boat. Lures only.
But you are okay with sharks and crocodiles? Yeah, that's
Not a
weird.
worm.
That is crazy. But Sammy Pooh said, I just heard myself drowning. Wait, so they swim under the boat to clean it?
Yeah.
Child, I just died. I mean, I
They,
can't imagine.
they put on a wetsuit, they got their scuba gear, and they go for it.
And
I
I feel like you got to watch your back.
will see at the end of the dock where the bull sharks give birth their teenage mothers. So the baby sharks, they don't go anywhere. They just stay right there in like that same little 10-foot area. And then the mommy sharks, they just take off for the ocean again. So the bigger sharks that would really do damage aren't around here. It's the babies. And so as long as you're not at the end of the T dock, you're fine.
Wow. Wow.
Um, an address, Randy, yes, that goes to the marina, but I also use a PO box because not every package and letter can get sent to the marina, but the PO box can.
I never even thought about that. It's like, do you get a dress or you have the marina address? That's a really good question, Randy. I never even thought about that. I guess I never thought about like what the difference would be living on a boat versus on land. But that's amazing that you cook such good food. You guys, if you guys missed a slideshow of her food, I may show it again. Or when this live ends, you can go back and replay it. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join my group on Facebook, Chef Big Bang Foodie Gang fan page, where we are sharing our food every day, all day long. People are contributing their food. So definitely join the group on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Sammy Pooh said, would you adopt though? Look, we'll clean for food. Look, I'll even sleep outside the boat to keep watch. Call me Snoopy if you want to. She's taking Sammy Pooh.
All right. I got a forward berth for you with two bunk beds in it. You're good. You can come on.
She's taken.
Well,
And
bathroom.
I also posted the link to Hassan's YouTube channel, Dr. Frizzle Frost and No Captivity with Freezy, and Ava's Playtime. I also make children's content, so go check out those YouTube channels. Nicole, it has been so great talking with you. Do you have any more stories to tell us, or does anyone have any more questions?
Any question? Stories about food? I'll never live it down. I cooked my homemade pasta for Christmas one year. My grandmother, Granny, she still teases me to this day that she had to clean the kitchen and the oven twice after I just made pasta. So that's never lived down. And I got a good one with my mom. She called up my grandmother one time, excited, and I was already born. And she was excited because she managed to make jello.
Wow. Nicole, I didn't know this, but not everybody can cook. Some people really can't cook, and that's okay because we're here to help them. Join the Facebook group, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We love to cook, and we are always willing to help new people who are trying to cook or trying to get into the kitchen because cooking is so important. Food is life.
Food is life, and cooking is important. And what's great with what you're doing is you can be a novice cook and go into your area, your channels, and it's not like some overly dramatic Gordon Ramsay type stuff. It's just
Yeah. Like a normal person, I feel like a lot of the times the chefs kind of isolate the home cooks and they make them feel like they're so much better than them that they can't do it. But in all actuality, you guys, there are more home cooks in the world than there are chefs. And that's why I wanted to have Nicole come up here and talk with you guys to show you guys that you can cook too. Anybody could cook food. You don't have to be like working in this lavish place. You have to just love food and love to eat and love to cook. That's it.
that's it. Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, you just learn from your mistakes. It's okay. We all make mistakes. It's fine. You know.
Yeah, and the best critic is yourself.
Yeah.
It matters what you think, and everyone likes different things. And that's a great thing about the Facebook group is that you get to see food from like all over the world, all over the states, and everyone likes different things. And so I think that's nice with Facebook. You get to like kind of like share your food with you get to share your food with everyone. And there's a lot of things that I've learned in the group. Like I never knew about the everything bagel seasoning.
I have it.
But I tried it the other day and it was good. I'm gonna get some. I was like, this is amazing. But there's just so many little things that I never knew about that I'm learning too.
Well, that's what's great with your group is that we can all kind of collaborate together and share experiences with one another.
Yeah, and then sometimes you see a recipe or you see a food that's good, and then you go home and make it. Like I'm still gonna make those quesadillas.
Mhm. And that's why I ended up making the taco salad because I
Yeah, so it's nice to like it kind of helps with your creativity because I don't know if you have those moments, but it feels like sometimes that's like I'm eating the same thing over and over and over. So
hmm
it's nice to see other people eating different stuff. You're like, oh, I should try
absolutely.
that. Randy said, Nicole, have you ever run into large animals like whales or dolphins?
I have seen dolphins from the boat. I didn't run into them literally, just saw them. I have not seen a whale yet, but I
I went on this boat tour in Hawaii. I mean, yeah, it was a boat tour to see whales. We did end up seeing one, but it was a pretty nice boat trip. But I wish I would have saw a whale because I think that would have been cool.
sure, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen aquariums, but never in the wild. Oh, my back here behind me saying he has seen whales out in the wild.
Wow, that is cool. That's like a once in a lifetime thing. But it's like when we were on this boat tour, we were like looking at the water so hard because we're waiting for the whale to jump out of the water. Randy said, "What is cell phone reception like when they start traveling?" Well, Nicole is talking to us off of Wi-Fi, so it looks like it's a pretty good connection to me.
Yeah, when we start traveling, it's just mainly our 5G. If we go too many miles out through the ocean, you'll start to lose reception on your cell phone. But we've got handheld radios, so we always are able to get in contact with like the Coast Guard. There's also sea tow. There's ways that we can still communicate if there's an emergency. Cell phone is just kind of like driving through land. Sometimes it works, sometimes in the mountains it doesn't.
Yeah, I used to live in this when I was living in Oregon, when I would drive through this certain part of town, my cell phone reception would just cut off. Like it was so weird. But there's definitely those type of places.
Yeah. It's like that in Virginia, all the way. If you go west towards West Virginia, there's places like that as well where your cell phone just cuts off. And same in the water. Now, on the ICW or the Great Loop, depending which one you go, you're going to mainly have all cell phone coverage. It won't be an issue. It's getting into the ocean is when you'll have an issue.
Nicole said, "Do you eat a lot of seafood?" Yes, Nicole eats all different types of meats.
I eat all of But I do eat a lot of seafood. However, because we're so close to the naval base, there's a lot of funk in the water, we'll call it. Just stuff that humans shouldn't be consuming, that could be engine leaks, fluid leaks. And
Ooh.
because you saw the big boats right there.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
So we don't fish here. We won't eat anything from the water here, but going out further, either up the channel or closer to the ocean, that's what we would end up eating. But we just get it fresh anyways and buy it from the local butcher or grocery store here and eat our seafood.
This is so amazing that we're able to talk to you, and I'm so glad that you came up today and you share your story because this is amazing. Like we will probably never meet someone that lives on a boat.
I keep inviting both you and Samantha to come on down anytime.
I'm gonna have to. So okay. So Nicole, in the future, I want to do like a food tour where I like travel across the U.S. and meet people from my Facebook group
Mhm.
and like try the food. Like I want to see.
Absolutely. Welcome anytime.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I will keep that in mind. I'm already thinking like, okay, I need to go here, here, here. Sammy Poo said, "This is amazing. I think I'll look into living into this boat living thing. It sounds better than me paying $1,000 a month."
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole, it's getting crazy out here.
All of our bills on the boat is under $700. That includes everything.
Wow.
And that's almost
Wow.
when we moved here.
Does it ever like how like when you're on land the rent like increases like
It,
every year it goes up?
it
But I
has
mean, if $700 and you've been living there for years, like that's a lot better.
$1,000 monthly rent payment. And then you still got to think on top of that, you've got your electricity, your water, your cable. I mean, yeah, it takes certain sacrifices to live on a boat, but when it comes down to finances, it's a whole lot cheaper. And it's a lot more fun. I don't even have tile floors. I don't own a mop. I just have a small vacuum cleaner. Uh, and like, well, you and I, we neither one of us have dishwashers. Some boats have dishwashers nowadays.
Wow, Sammy Poo said right because this is the first. Can we get another interview with her soon? You know what I want? I want to see you cooking
Okay.
live. Like it's kind of hard to cook live. It's tough because of like the setup and stuff. But I would like to see like maybe a video of you cooking because that's cool. Like
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I always feel like sometimes my kitchen is too small, but seeing what you're working with, I'm very humbled.
Just give me like a week's notice so I can ensure that my kitchen's clean enough for video and we're good to go.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
But yeah, I'll be more than happy to do that. I'll have all the prep work done and it will just be mainly the cooking and plating. More than happy to do that. And then you can check out my additional spices because I have probably 75% more. That's probably 25% of my spice.
Yes, Nicole has a whole lot of seasonings, a lot of hot sauce.
Hey, if you're going to make good food, you got to make it right.
Yes, I do agree. Like seasonings are so important. And then I've learned a lot about. I've learned about a lot new seasonings talking with you, like the everything seasoning, the Danos. It's like you have a lot of knowledge. I've been learning a lot from you.
Where's my Danos bag? Here it is. I literally carry my Danos in its own bag. Not even joking. Those are my Danos.
Wow, you.
My mother's
Woo,
a cook, so I started doing that when I visit her.
yeah. So like I know that you said you were kind of cooking with your grandmother and stuff, but it's like it looks like your the way you plate your food is very good. Did you ever like when you're looking at videos, like how did you learn how to plate and present your food so well?
Um, it actually started with one of a random Facebook friend who I'd never met face to face. And she took a picture. I brought her over because I always bring my Facebook friends over to cook for them. And she took a picture of my chicken tikka masala, and it was beautiful. So I asked her how she was able to do that. So a lot of my food plating isn't that I'm good at it, it's that she taught me how to utilize the actual areas on the phone, with the lighting, with the dimensions of it, if it's turned or whatnot. She taught me that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this video one more time, but the sound's gonna be off, so we can continue talking.
Sure. Not a problem.
Wow, that's amazing. Like some people have to go to school to learn how to cook or how to present their food, but your presentations are very good.
Brussels sprouts and buffalo chicken. That's the Mexican salad that you got me into because it's been so long. Uh, the fries just turned out good. I didn't do anything special with those.
Those right there is like nacho fries. Those are so good. I've had them before. They're good.
They are good. They were really good.
Oh, and then these are your burgers.
Hmm. And so you did get the donut burger. My husband loved it. I was okay with it. I prefer the one.
Yes, I made sure I got the donut burger because I remember when we were talking about it, you were telling me, and I was like, "This is the famous burger that everyone is making with the donut as the bun."
Hmm. Yeah. I tried. I even grilled the inside and everything.
It seems like it would be very sweet,
It,
but
yeah, it was. I took one. I took one half of the bun off, and then it was okay. Oh, there's my hubby.
okay. And then this is the one on the left. That's your steak. She's always making steak for her husband, y'all. Get you somebody that know how to cook.
And that steak is, see it how it's so dark out there. That's actually the Dano's Primo, is what made it so dark. So it's not like burnt. It's actually just from the seasoning.
Yeah, and I just love your presentation. And I went live the other day. I was making salads, and I was telling them like when you eat, you want your food to look nice so that it makes you want to eat it. Like nobody wants their food to look ugly. So even if you're at home, I mean, you still gotta make your food look good because you're gonna eat it.
You eat with your eyes first before you do your mouth.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then the gravy on those mashed potatoes, I'm just getting hungry looking at it.
Well, like Samantha Moore, she said she started licking her phone.
Yeah, she's another great chef from my Facebook group that I do want to also bring up here. She makes a lot of like fresh foods, like fruits and vegetables. And I believe she's vegan, but I don't want to. Is she vegan, Nicole?
I'm not sure.
I'm
It,
not sure, but she makes really great food and she's going to start becoming a private chef. So I
yeah,
really want to get her up here as well.
that's what I was thinking, is that she was a private chef. So if I saw meat, it may not have been consumed in her household. It may be in somebody else's.
Yeah, I believe she is vegan, but don't quote me on that. We will see.
Okay.
And then these are her quesadillas. Oh my goodness.
Yep. I blackened the chicken in there and seared them up. And those are actually hand cut waffle fries. I've got this really nifty little tool where I can make my own waffle fries.
Wow. I never even see Nicole, you're a better cook than me because I never even thought about making my own waffle fries.
Well, like I said, with the farmer's market, everything's cheaper and better and healthier. And then that dip is actually a maple syrup dipping sauce for the fries. It's
Wow,
like,
that sounds delicious.
it's like honey butter, but I use maple syrup in the butter instead.
Oh, I remember you were telling me about that.
Hmm.
And then I like the burger and I like how you have the fruit salad with it because sometimes, you gotta like substitute, for healthier stuff.
Absolutely. And the burger, it's enough to compensate where you can have some, fruit salad and homemade pasta salad. So Just a moderation of everything.
Yeah, you definitely got to eat in moderation. I definitely agree with that. I like how you always include fresh ingredients on your food, like how you have the avocados, you got the fruit. I can definitely tell that you live near a farmer's market.
Yeah. Well, my since my hubby got together, he's actually lost 50 pounds.
Wow,
Yep.
that's amazing to see y'all. Get y'all a woman that know how to cook.
And I mean, my meals. No one's going hungry with my meals, and we don't limit ourselves on anything. It's just little tiny changes to make.
Yeah, I agree, and that's a good thing about this Facebook group. It made me start intermittent fasting, eating more vegetables, eating more fruits, eating quinoa now and more salads. And so I think it's positive to have a group that can help motivate you to stay on the course because it's so easy, especially when you know how to cook. Like because like we know how to make healthy stuff and we know how to make stuff that looks good, but it's not necessarily great for you.
Right. Yeah, but it's good to have. Yeah, like I mean, those quesadillas definitely had some cheese in it.
Oh, and I love this one. This fruit salad.
Okay,
I
now that,
love your presentations. They're just so
that
good.
I taught myself that one, so I have to give myself credit for that one.
I mean, it just looks amazing. It looks fresh and yummy.
It was
And
so
you
good.
made it on a boat.
Yep. And so what I did, the reason why I cut it that way is I cut it in half, chopped out the pineapple into chunks. Well, it was still like on the inside. And I actually do eat the core. I just make the core a little bit smaller so you don't have that hard bite to it. And so all that pineapple juice that was left in there that normally would get on your cutting board on your table, that drips out, the rest of the fruit was able to soak in all that pineapple, and so it was flavored without actually having to add any ingredients, spices, salt, no nothing. I just used the pineapple juice.
Did you put that sounds so delicious. Are those jalapenos in there or are those green bell peppers? The little green things.
They're jalapenos.
Oh, and I noticed, Nicole, that you like spicy food.
Do, but my husband really doesn't. So when you're talking capsaicin with spicy food, it's not the seeds that actually make it spicy, it's the ribs, that white part. The seeds only taste spicy because the ribs will have some of the oils leak out onto the seeds. So what I do when I make jalapenos or even habaneros like this, I remove all the ribs and all the seeds, and then I make them in tiny little pieces because it's the ribs you need to get rid of, and that's what makes it spicy.
Oh, and one thing I like about you, Nicole, you seem very educated about food. That is also an important thing, guys, that you guys need to learn about food a little bit so that you know what each ingredient is doing and what each ingredient tastes like.
Yeah, it's important. You can ask my guy. I'm always researching food, watching food shows, learning more because there's never enough, knowledge over something that you're definitely passionate about and something that you have to do every day, which is eat.
Yeah, she's right about that. There's never enough knowledge, and that's why I was saying, like, I'm learning a lot because it's like there's no way to learn everything about food because there's other cultures, other parts of the world that grow different ingredients and have different foods. So that's the thing I love about food is that there's always more to learn, and that's where the fun part comes in.
That's funny you said other ethnicities, because this is my chicken tikka masala. I made an herb salad that's non bread. Now, I do buy my non bread. I use Stonefire, but I made homemade uh, tzatziki sauce, the homemade garam masala. And if you look towards the left where the lemon is, that's not rice with fresh herbs. That's actually orzo pasta with that lemon.
Yes, y'all. They have a pasta that's shaped like rice,
Hmm.
and it is good. It's good. I had it before.
Oh, you have? Okay. That's a lot of people
Yeah,
think.
yeah. When I worked in Oregon, they used to serve orzo pasta sometimes. So we did a lot of pasta. So like I learned about a lot of different pasta shapes. Because when I'm at home, you only eat like elbows, sometimes penne. But then when you work in the food industry, kind of you're cooking for other people.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood for like a sticky rice. So it's just a nice, great substitute where you still can get that like small.
And then it orzo pasta also soaks up moisture really good, so like you can flavor it like pasta pretty much, and it looks like rice, so it's good.
Yeah, yeah, I really like it.
And y'all, naan bread is so delicious.
Yes, it is.
this,
Love it.
this makes me want some Greek food. Oh, this is my favorite one. I had to make sure I put this one in here, Nicole, because you got a really cool story about this.
So my hubby was having a real long, bad day at work. So I decided to make him something that would make him smile and laugh because I usually play little pranks and whatnot on him. So this, I did the homemade tortilla shell in a bowl. That's actually homemade ranch that I colored blue. The grass, I dyed blue. It's actually cheese. The orange, I'm sorry, the purple thing is a cave for the dinosaurs to be in. I made some homemade stuffing on the side of the pond so it looks like rocks. I did homemade mashed potatoes with homemade gravy. I put peas at the far right side. I did broccoli on the left side, and then I put scallions all the way over so it looks all like plant life. And then the dinos, of course, I bought them. They're frozen, but it was two different packs I bought because I liked one pack, the ones that looked a little bit darker, but there were
Oh.
pterodactyls in the lighter pack, so I had to buy two to get them both. And it was delicious, but my husband was standing there going, I don't want to ruin your sculpture.
I love this one, and I know that kids would love this.
Oh, yeah.
Like they love stuff like this. And I actually made a couple of like food sculptures when I was in culinary school, and I even did one at home with my daughter, all out of candy. But
Uh-huh.
they're just fun. They're fun to make.
Yeah, they sure are. I'd love to see your candy sculptures.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the video of it. We
Okay.
actually put it on it was playtime. But yeah, it was so much fun because it was like we were just in the house, kind of, kind of bored. And I was like, hey, but let's make a candy sculpture. She was like, what? But they're a lot of fun. And, cooking with kids is great because you get to, really let them experiment with their creativity.
Sure. Makes sense. And they can.
Yeah, so you guys make sure that you guys go subscribe to Ava's Playtime. And I will send you that video, Nicole, and I'll also send you this video so you can have it.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, but I just love this picture, so I had to make sure I put this one in here because I love this one.
It was my favorite, honestly, my all time.
And I had to talk about salads.
Of course. I always got to have some freshness.
Yeah, and like I'm not really a cucumber fan, but I know people love cucumbers.
And in the South, that tomato, cucumber, onion salad you can find like everywhere.
Yeah, people love it. When I was in the kitchen, we always made a cucumber salad. People love cucumbers. It's weird because I don't like cucumbers, but I like pickles. So
That works. I like mushrooms when they're raw but not cooked, usually.
and it's like sometimes it just be weird like that. Oh, and I had to make sure I put this one in here because this is one of your dishes that I see a lot. So I had to make sure I put this in here.
Yeah, meatball sliders. And like what we were talking about, like the beef and pork mixture, that's how I make my meatballs, is with that same mixture. And Hawaiian rolls. It was nice. One of our neighbors, again, the whole voting thing, one of our neighbors gave us a huge pack of Hawaiian rolls for Christmas. He works there, so he was just passing them out to all the liverboards. But that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like these little sauce. I think it's called a sauce boat. I like these where you put the sauce in them. I'm gonna have to get some of these little sauce bowls because it's like it's nice because you can make your plate look pretty and not have to just put the sauce on the plate.
and just dump it on everything. Yeah, I don't remember what they're called, but I know that they were only like $4 or $5 for a case of two from Amazon.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely have to check those out because I just love your presentations. And like even me, I'd be like, okay, I need to step my game up.
This dish was from the Mexican restaurant that's close to us, that's near the farmer's market. We had ordered it. There was just no seasoning on it at all. But it sounded really good because it's got steak, chicken, and shrimp in it with onions and peppers, and there was just no seasoning. So I went and made it myself. The pineapple you can see is underneath it, and I cooked it in the pineapple with all that meat and veggies in it, and then I just garnished it with lime, avocado, and some jalapeno slices, and it was so good. Again, I used one of my Danos, the Chipotle, and the rest was just from my normal McCormick line that I use.
Nicole, your husband, if he ever leaves, he's crazy. They say that food is the way to a man's heart, but everyone loves good food, and it's unfortunate that not everybody cooks, but you guys got to start cooking.
Yep.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, even if you're watching me on the replay.
Yep. And
Let's see
everyone,
what else we got.
and even if you
But
don't,
yes, Nicole, I just love your food. So when I made a decision to start doing interviews, I was like, I have to get Nicole because she's making some amazing, amazing food.
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then like I said, I'm gonna send you that video so that you can have it. You can put it on your Facebook page
Yeah.
and all of that. But Nicole, we've been rocking out for almost 2 hours.
Yes, we sure have been. Well, it's been wonderful to finally get to have a conversation with you.
I know, because it's like I've only seen your food, so we've been talking through the food.
Right.
And we're always up late, we're always posting, we're always cooking.
Yep.
And it's like, should do a post, I'll do a post.
Uh-huh.
And it's just
I, you do a post, I do a post.
but it's so much fun being able to share our food. You guys join the Facebook group. We're definitely on there all the time. And the group is growing, it's getting bigger and it's getting better. And I just love having a place to share my food. And I don't know about you, but when I wake up in the morning, I'd be like excited to see what everybody's eating for
Yep.
the day.
Yep. I'm right there with you. Well, except for
Yes, you guys go. Make sure that you follow Nicole on Facebook. Join the group.
join the group.
Randy said, I'll be looking for the boat on the news.
Go for it. It goes right across the arena, over the marina, and then towards the base, and you can see it every morning on the news.
Yeah, but Nicole, thank you so much for coming up and sharing your story because I don't know anyone that lives on a boat and makes good food. You are definitely one of a kind. You're an amazing woman. And I hope that you and your husband have many more great years together.
Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to meet you. You are a beautiful woman.
Thank you. Thank you. See, that's why I like you.
I'm just
Yes, and I'm glad that we finally were able to connect today because I was like, I'm not letting this go. You guys got to meet Nicole. And I wanted to meet her too.
well. We got our wish because I wanted to meet you as well.
Yes, and thank you so much for coming up, Nicole. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to say to the foodie gang?
Just keep doing what you know and keep just pushing on.
Yeah. All right, Nicole, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you out. So when I hit the end button, you'll be out of the live. But thank you
Okay.
so much for coming up on 907 Goodies. We really appreciate it. We will see you on Facebook, and
Yes.
we will definitely be watching for your food.
All right, girl, and you enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Have a good night.
All right.
All right, foodie gang. Thank you guys for watching up until this point. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the Facebook food group, post it down below. As always, you can support this channel and keep the stove on a money sign Chef Big Bank. And if you're watching on the replay, definitely leave a comment down below. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m., I'm dropping new content, and then I'm going live randomly. So make sure you turn on the bell. I want to give a shout out to everybody that came through. No Captivity with Freezy, Sammy Pooh. Thank you all. Thank you so much for coming through and having great questions. And he said, I just want to shake Miss Nicole's hands and get some samples of her food. I know, me too. I feel like I'm hungry now. And Randy said, 907 Goodies, read my message. Which one? I believe I did. Are you talking about on email? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. So make sure you guys go subscribe to No Captivity with Freezy. Really great panel show. And subscribe to Dr. Frizzle Frost and Hassan Tahita, also known as It Is What It Is TV. Let me see. Okay, we got Dr. Frizzle Frost right here. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that channel, and then No Captivity with Freezy. Y'all, so I'm going to take a break for the rest of the weekend. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to relax. But I will see you guys back here next Wednesday at 9 a.m. I believe we will be having another interview, but I'm going to stay tuned for that announcement. But I believe we're going to have another interview lined up for next week. Next Friday, we're definitely going to have an interview about it's going to be another YouTuber, Slim Jim Longfoot. He's going to talk about having type 2 diabetes and how he experienced a healthcare scare in 2020. So that's going to be next Friday. Stay tuned for that. Watch out for the video. Turn on the notification bell. Dr. Frizzle said, great interview. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and you guys, I also have an interview with Dr. Frizzle Frost. Great interview. You can go to his channel or my channel, or maybe even both, and watch our interview together. That was a great interview. Make sure you guys check that out. And check out my trio of salads. Y'all say y'all want to cook. Go ahead and watch that video. Make the recipes. And I'm about to hit y'all with the outro video. Hey, if you guys want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook. I'm on there every day, sharing with you guys what I eat for the day. So make sure you go check me out on Facebook. The sponsor of the show is going to be Glow Hardy. Thank you so much, Glow. I hope that one day you come up on the panel. Sometimes I invite guests up, but today I didn't. But I hope you come on the panel so we can see your face. You can talk about your YouTube channel. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Here we go. Here we go. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good Sunday. This is Chef Big Bang. Thank you so much for watching at 907 Good Eats. Make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. I'm out.